A very good afternoon to you. You're right in time for Citizen Weekend on this 1 p.m. on the 8th of February. Let's take a look at the news highlights. Police killing of a girl sparks protests in Huruma, Nairobi. Matatu operators suspend strike for 2 weeks pending probe into alleged border attacks. Grief as teacher killed by suspected Al-Shabaab militants in Garissa is laid to rest in Mwingi. My name is Olive Burrows. Huruma Estate in Nairobi remains tense and disrupted at this hour after protests broke out last evening following the alleged shooting of a girl by a police officer. The incident reportedly occurred as police pursued a suspected thief near her family's fishmonger stall earlier on Saturday, prompting widespread outrage and anger among locals. Protesters blocked major roads, built makeshift barricades and lit bonfires, while several business stalls and parked buses were set ablaze as demonstrators demanded justice and accountability from security agencies. The family of the deceased is now demanding justice, raising questions about the conduct of law enforcement officers.
Wale ambao tumefika City Mortuary, tumeona kwamba alipigwa risasi ya macho. Imeingia just around this area na imeweza kutoka. According to eyewitnesses, Cheryl was minding her business kwa kibanda, anafanya kazi yake, anaendelea na shughuli yake. Ile altercation ilikuwa huko nje ya polisi na nani, she had no business in it. But still, tunaona amepigwa risasi na ameuawa.
The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Eliud Lagat, has issued a stern warning to political leaders against the growing use of goons to advance political interests, describing the practice as a dangerous trend that will not be tolerated. Speaking on Friday at Igare in Bobasi, Kisii County, during the official opening of a new police station, Lagat said all security agencies nationwide have been placed on high alert and directed to deal firmly with any form of political goonism that threatens safety and security of Kenyans. He warned that the National Police Service will take decisive action against individuals or groups sponsoring violence and chaos under the guise of politics, emphasizing that peace and the rule of law must prevail as the country heads towards the 2027 general election. The DIG also raised concern over the rising cases of drug and substance abuse among the youth.
Stop it because they are not helping them. The young people need to engage themselves in positive economic activities, but not just because of 200 bob, 500 bob, or whatsoever money that you are given to advance those activities. And I want to call all people of goodwill, be it in political class, the religion class, or any other class in the society. Let's be mindful of this country. Let's put youth in order. Let's support the youth in positive.
Stephen Vundi, a 35-year-old primary school teacher whose life was cut short in an attack in Garissa, was on Saturday laid to rest in Mwingi West on Saturday. Vundi, who was teaching at Hulugo Primary School in Garissa County, was shot dead 2 weeks ago by unknown assailants in an attack that also claimed the life of the area chief. Family and friends eulogized the late teacher as hardworking, disciplined, and deeply committed to the welfare of his pupils. His death has highlighted the risks faced by teachers working in volatile regions, with more teachers calling on the Teacher Service Commission to urgently transfer them to safer areas.
Na mtakupata hii, nilimpigia simu. Hai, mimi mwenyewe sikutumana. Nikamuuliza mwalimu. I've got the information that ndugu yangu ametishiwa. Hakuashua diaje security yake.
Security ikuwe hai, lazima mtutoe kule, tuache kusumbuka kwa sababu tuko na ujuzi wa kufunza wanafunzi na tumesoma, lakini kuna baadhi ya mambo ambayo yanatusumbua tunapofanya kazi kule. Hayo naongea kuhusu walimu ambao hata mimi nikiwa hapa jana, nikiwa kwa gari nimepigiwa simu nikaambiwa mahali penye nafunza kumeonekana watu wawili ambao hawajulikani na walimu wamelala kwa shida.
Security operations in Isiolo County targeting stolen livestock, illegal firearms and drug trafficking have yielded significant gains. According to the Deputy County Commissioner Bernard Okwiri and the County Police Commander Isaac Sang, officers have recovered over 1,700 goats, 13 cattle and 2 firearms surrendered with magazines and ammunition. Several suspects have been arrested with investigations ongoing. Ballistic tests will be conducted on the recovered firearms to establish whether they were used in previous crimes. Police say the multi-agency team will continue working with residents to recover more livestock and illegal weapons.
Na tunaendelea kushirikiana na wananchi na officers wetu kupitia sehemu ya intelligence ili tuhakikishe kwamba area yetu ya Isiolo imebaki na usalama.
Operesheni hii ilikuwa inafaa izingatie mambo matatu. Kwanza kabisa ni kuchukua ile silaha haramu ambayo iko kwa mikono ya wananchi. Jambo la pili ilikuwa ni kurudisha mifugo zote ambazo zilikuwa zimeibiwa hapo awali kwa wenyewe. Na jambo la tatu ilikuwa ni kukabiliana na mihadarati.
Ni operation mzuri sana. Ikiendelea hivi mali mingi ambayo ilipotea mwaka 5, 6 maobi tuko nazo zitatokezea. Hii ya leo juzi siku 2, 3 imepita, mbuzi kidogo imeweza kurudishwa. Imekuwa recovered. Siku ya kwanza hii jamii ambayo inaishi kule Parwa alileta 25 na jana kuna mtu alileta 27.
All right, let's listen in to what the president had to say earlier when he was attending a church service at AIC Pipeline in Embakasi. He addressed Azimio as well as payee exemption.
Biblia inatuambia vile tumeambiwa hapa, we must be strong, we must be courageous. Transformation is not a walk in the park. Transformation takes sacrifice, it takes commitment, it takes focus. And that is why we need to be strong, we need to be courageous, so that we can undertake the transformation that is going to change our country. And I am all in, I am all in to work with all the leaders so that we can transform our nation. Politics aside, kuna wakati wa siasa tutaongea siasa. Kwa sasa, we are focused on delivering transformation in the city and in the nation of Kenya. And I want to encourage every leader, let us be focused, and I want to assure you of my commitment as we focus on the agenda that is ahead of us. Mnajua kwa mfano, haya maneno mengi tunayoweza sasa kufanya ni kwa sababu we did first things first. We stabilized our economy. That was the biggest problem we had, the stability of the economy. Today, I can confidently stand before the people of Kenya and say our economy is now stable. This Friday, ambayo ilipita, we have now paid all the pending bills ya mabarabara zetu zote mpaka tarehe 30 December 2025. How ma contractors wote mnaona different parts of Kenya, we've paid them because now we have the resources to drive our development. Na ndio sababu vile vile tunapeleka mswada bunge, mapendekezo bunge. Wakifungua hivi next week, tunapeleka mapendekezo pale, kwa sababu katika ile harakati ya kupunguza ushuru, tunapendekeza sasa, tukipeleka bunge next week, tunapendekeza kwamba wale wote wanaopata mshahara shilingi 30,000 na kuja chini hawatalipa ushuru yeyote. Any citizen who earns 30,000 and below, ile ushuru wamekuwa wakilipa ya pay as you earn, sasa tutaondoa kama serikali, because our economy is now stable. Number 2, tumesema wale wote wanaopata mshahara mpaka shilingi 50,000 pia tunawapunguzia ushuru by 5%.
Chaos briefly disrupted the burial of Deputy Vice-Chancellor Professor Donald Siamba of Kibabi University in Kimilili, Bungoma County after politicians clashed publicly over county leadership, development and the succession of the university. There was pushing and shoving on the podium as Senator Wafula Wakoli accused the county government of misappropriating county funds. Kimilili MP Didmas Barasa called on the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to launch an independent and speedy probe to establish the true cause of Professor Siamba's death. Other leaders, including National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula, vowed to ensure that succession battles at the university do not destabilize the institution.
Mchezo na ule upuzi ya kuchukua pesa ya umma unaweka kwa mradi miaka 15. Mradi hujakamilika, it will never happen again in Bungoma. Bungoma must be progressive. Tukianza kwa maneno ya maendeleo, we must provide a clear trajectory.
Ndio mama wanalia kwa sababu hawajui nani atawatetea. But I want to tell the council of Kibabi, Professor Olo, wherever you are, the chairman of the council, you will not run. You will not hide. We will deal with you head on. Tutapambana mundu humundu.
I'll call you to my office on Wednesday. We're opening Parliament on Tuesday. Come, we sit, we talk. We cannot abandon our institutions. We sacrifice to make them what they are. People who will go to any table and make a difference through their intelligent talk, their intelligent contribution, and above all, guidance for the country to move forward. We don't expect anything less.
Retired President Uhuru Kenyatta has come under sharp criticism from the Kakamega governor and his deputy for continuing to involve himself in active politics, with the leaders saying he should step back and stop undermining the government of President William Ruto. The Kakamega leaders said the law requires a retired president to stay out of active politics after leaving office, accusing former President Uhuru Kenyatta of ignoring this provision. They also accused him of misleading Wiper Patriotic Front leader Kalonzo Musyoka with promises of the presidency, saying he failed to deliver power to Raila Odinga. The leaders further called on Kenyatta to respect the current administration and allow President William Ruto to govern.
Retired Benefit Presidents Act, na mimi nimekuwa bunge 10 years, inasema 6 months after retirement you are not supposed to be involved in active politics. Kama umeretire, kaa nyumbani, chunga wajukuu, wachana na siasa for stability of this country. Naelewa na hivyo.
Mimi nataka kuambia rais ambaye alikuwa rais Uhuru Kenyatta ya kwamba wewe wacha kudanganya Kalonzo Musyoka, kwa sababu hiyo ni ndoto ya viusasa. Hauwezi fikisha rais, hauwezi fikisha Kalonzo Musyoka kuwa rais, ili hali ulishindwa kuweka pale Raila Amolo Odinga ukiwa kwa mamlaka. Wacha William Ruto afanye kazi, wacha kusumbua Rais William Ruto. Wacha kuleta msisusuko katika uongozi wa William Ruto. Heshimu uongozi and you must respect the presidency.
Mandera North MP Major retired Bashir Abdullahi has welcomed the Court of Appeal decision that declared the NGCDF constitutional. Speaking during the launch of classrooms built through CDF at Salam Integrated Primary School in Ramu Town, the legislator said the fund has positively impacted many lives in pastoralist counties.
Nani pastoralist communities yote bila CDF najua hakuna kitu kingefanyika. Kila pale ukienda at least mjengo hii na majengo hii ni CDF, hii ni CDF. Kama hakuna tuko mbali sana. So I want to join my colleagues, all the leadership, all the members of parliament in congratulating the appeals court for upholding the fact that CDF must remain and must work for the people and the communities they serve.
The Ministry of Education has been urged to prioritize the establishment of day secondary schools in all primary institutions, a move stakeholders say will help achieve a 100% transition to senior secondary education. Speaking at Karunge Secondary School in Madhioya constituency, Murang'a County, during a ceremony to honor students who excelled in the 2025 KCSE exams, education stakeholders emphasized that day schools would ease the financial burden on parents while ensuring that every learner progresses to senior secondary. The event also featured a unique celebration for the top performers who were treated to a free helicopter ride in recognition of their achievement. The call for more day schools comes amid growing concerns over the transition of learners to grade 10, with many families struggling to meet school fees and provide basic needs.
Ile kitu mzuri ni kuongelesha mtoto kama wakati anasoma. Juu hakuna mahali ati mtoto ati hospital.
Wakubatie shule za day schools. Na wale walimu ambao wanafundisha hizi day schools ni wale wako Alliance, wale wako Starehe.
To achieve 100% transition from grade 9 to grade 10. I think it's very important for our MPs, for our government, to make sure that we have day secondary schools in each and every primary school in Kenya. If we do that, the issue of 100% transition will not be an issue. One, it will reduce the financial baggage of our parents.
Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni has called on parents to prioritize the immunization of their children. Speaking in Laikipia during a Jamii Imara Citizen Engagement Forum, she said that vaccination is one of the most effective defenses against life-threatening diseases. The PS further announced that the government will supply medical equipment to all counties to improve access to health services. Other leaders called for a better pay structure for community health promoters.
When they will be coming. In fact, this is our prayer answer.
Nice music. All men are studying so that we can have.
We are talking about protecting our children through immunization. Munapeleka watoto wenu chanjo? See, that is protection. Because when you call a child and you embrace that child, you are talking about really protecting that child. But when we talk about it in the health aspect, tunaangalia kitu ya kwanza, immunization. Wale watoto wote wako hapa nimeona wengi wao wako chini ya miaka 5. Please protect them by taking them for immunization and for vaccination.
As you heard from our colleague, this team was in Nyamira a couple of weeks ago. We were in fact led by Kare in Eldoret on Thursday. Agencies engaging citizens directly, explaining what it is that government agencies are doing so that the citizen can be better informed and we can overcome the negativity created by those who want to confuse the citizen with the view that government is not working.
We take a break on Citizen Weekend, but on the other side, we have an update on the issue of Matatu strike. Thank you for staying with us on Citizen Weekend. Matatu operators have now suspended their nationwide strike for the next 2 weeks as they await investigations into the torching of several Matatus that sparked outrage within the industry. Speaking in Nairobi, Matatu Association officials, however, warned that they will advise on the course of action if accountability is not achieved at the end of the 14-day grace period.
We've suspended the strike for 14 days as we wait for some consultation with the government to see how we can work together to deal with those criminals, because not all border borders are criminals.
Base has been informed because of the seriousness we have seen from the side of the government that action will be taken and is being taken.
We had meetings with the border, and even Tuesday we'll further that meeting with the border together with the National Police Service. We'll have a meeting at the police pavilion so that we agree on how to solve problems when there is an accident involving a Matatu and a border.
I'm confirming here, there are other videos that we have, and police work is diversified nowadays. We have given it to the other technical team, analyzing it with the view of coming up with those perpetrators who, when it is done, they are going to face law.
Anti-FGM crusaders have called for concerted efforts in supporting survivor-led initiatives in ending female genital mutilation. According to Ipato Huruma, the chairperson of the National Gender and Equality Commission, while the country has recorded a decline in the prevalence rates from 21% in 2014 to 15% in 2022, survivors continue to face social stigma, isolation, and emotional exhaustion. She was speaking during a regional forum convened by the Girl Generation to discuss strategies to end the vice by 2030. The stakeholders, drawn from Kenya, Ethiopia, Senegal, Somaliland, insisted on the need for increased public understanding of new and emerging evidence on what is needed to end FGM.
Anti-FGM champions will not take their daughters and granddaughters for the cut. Survivors telling their stories within the community is a platform to break the stigmatization of the uncut girls.
We recognize that laws alone are not enough. Ending FGM requires sustained community engagement, survivor-centered approaches, robust accountability mechanisms, and the meaningful involvement of multiple sectors, including education, health, justice, and social protection.
It isn't simply about handing over resources so that individuals or communities or activists can initiate, but it's also been about how do we ensure that those initiatives have in place strong mechanisms of accountability and transparency.
327 couples from Kwale, Mombasa, and Kilifi counties have solemnized their marriages in a mass wedding conducted at the Kwale Baraza Park in Kwale County. The annual event, which is in its 6th year, was presided over by the acting Chief Qadi, Omar Hassan. The mass wedding that comes a few days before the holy month of Ramadan is an initiative by the Matuga MP, Kasim Tandaza, and Bahari FM under the Royal Media Services. The Chief Qadi said registering marriages was not only in line with religious teachings, but averts any challenges that may arise from non-legalized marriages.
La mchezo ni wacha niende tu nikashughulikia masabu ya ndoa, na hii ndoa nashukuru pia imesaidia watu wengi sana.
Nilikuwa natamani sana kuolewa niwe kama mke halali wa ndoa, na leo nimefunga ndoa. Nashukuru kwa Mwenyezi Mungu nimeingia kwenye dini.
Si lazima ingoje tu kwa mwaka mara moja katika kama huu. Ikiwa ni zoezi la kuendelea, kwa sababu tunapata fursa kutembea kwa watu ili tuweze kupatia hiyo service, bringing service closer to the people.
Anapeleka bodaboda yake, wewe unajua kabisa mwenye kupeleka bodaboda akizidi atapata 500, lakini ikifika wakati wa kuoa wakifuata binti anaambiwa sasa wewe hapa na sio mahari, maziwa na kilemba. Nafikiri tunaelewana katika jamii yetu, tunasema maziwa na kilemba utaleta 300,000. Sasa mtu ambaye unajua kabisa uwezo wake ni huo, alafu umemwitisha 300,000, ni kama umemwambia yule msichana asiolewe.
Na kile ambacho tunajivunia kama Bahari FM ni kwamba tumeweza kulizungumzia hili kwa muda mrefu, na tukasema kwamba mara hii basi raundi hii itakuwa kitendo hiki cha harusi ya enzi kinarudi kwa kishindo, na lengo letu ni kuendelea kuwapongeza tu maharusi. Unajua tena katika mambo yetu ya pwani ni kwamba hakuna kitu ambacho huwa tunakibeba kwa uzito na thamani kama harusi, maana wanasema ndoa ni nusu ya dini.
Kenyan Premier League defending champions Kenya Police FC booked a round of 32 berth after edging Embakasi United by a solitary goal to boost their hopes of winning silverware alive. Even as their KPL title defense appears to be slipping away, other round of 64 results. Last season semi-finalists Muranga Seal saw off Kahawa Pride at 9-1 in a thrilling encounter in Kahawa. Kakamega Homeboys thrashed Amani Youth 5-1. Ulinzi Stars narrowly beat Camel Park Rangers 1-0, while Z-Tech University eliminated Ruafa with a 2-0 victory. National Super League side 3KFC of Embu County recorded the biggest win of the round, routing Limuru 8-0. Kariobangi Sharks cruised past Pwani Oil 7-0, while Dynamo FC edged NSL side Kibera Black Stars 4-3 on post-match penalties after a 2-2 draw in regulation time.